This is Mildred Council, who's going to introduce some topics related to Juneteenth. What are some historical facts you can share with those who are not familiar with Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is a holiday observed by African Americans on the 19th of June to celebrate when all former enslaved people in the United States fully realized their freedom. In 1861, 11 states seceded from the United States to form the Confederate States of America. It was 11 of those states: South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina. In 1861, those states, as I mentioned, seceded from the Union. The Civil War began, and they attacked Fort Sumter, South Carolina. On August the 22nd, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln stated, "My paramount objective to save the Union is not neither to save or destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing one slave, I would do it." In January 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was delivered only to free the slaves in the Confederate States. Lincoln considered this declaration an act of military necessity and invited the former slaves to join the Union Armed Forces. On February 1st, 1865, President Lincoln signed the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery throughout the United States. April 9th, 1865, the Civil War ends. June 19th, 1865, the slaves of Galveston, Texas received the official message from the Union General Granger that they were free. 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the date provides the origin for the name we call today Juneteenth.
Was there a lapse in the time between the Emancipation Proclamation, ratification of the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and Juneteenth?
The Emancipation Proclamation, ratification of the 13th Amendment, and Juneteenth all occurred within 3 years. January 1st, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation officially ended slavery in the Confederate States. 2.5 years later, on June 9th, 1865, the Union Army General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and informed the local black population there that the Civil War had ended and told them they were free. The 13th Amendment was ratified by the states on December 6, 1865, after being passed by the Senate in April of 1864 and the House of Representatives January 1865. It abolished slavery and involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime.
In light of current events in the U.S., what would you say is the significance of Juneteenth today?
In the light of current events today in the United States and around the world, Juneteenth is significant today because it highlights the ongoing inequities that remain as a legacy of slavery and shows that people are still fighting for freedom and justice. The remnants of slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and police brutality still impact Black people negatively today. Juneteenth this year offers an opportunity for protest, advocacy, and a chance to push for change, particularly after the extrajudicial killings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and far too many others by the police. We have already seen a societal shift due to the efforts of Black Lives Matter and other voices, and have an opportunity to see federal, state, and local legislation that better addresses the concerns of Black people and other marginalized groups in the United States.
What is the significance of Juneteenth as a part of the African American experience in Greenville and in North Carolina?
I can speak for Eastern North Carolina experience a little bit more broadly. Having attended Pitt County schools here in Greenville, North Carolina, and graduated in 1967, I had heard about Black people celebrating Juneteenth in Rocky Mount, which they called June German. They looked for the day to celebrate their freedom. Princeville, North Carolina, in Edgecombe County, was incorporated as a town in 1865 along the Tar River, which is the oldest incorporated African-American town in the United States. Well, I had a chance to visit that town when I was a little girl. My family had a Black doctor in that town, so that was real significant to me. Even more significantly, in 1967, I enrolled as a freshman at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina. There I learned that Shaw University was the oldest historic Black college or university in the South, founded in 1865 as by Henry Martin Tupper, who had just left service in the Union Army. He started Shaw Bible Institute for newly freed slaves to learn to read, and later he felt they needed to get an education as well. And so today, Shaw University is 155 years old, started in 1865, was founded to help the free slaves. These three examples demonstrate the celebration of Juneteenth and acts of freedom for Black people in North Carolina, the United States, and the world. This is Mildred Atkinson Council, a charter member of the Shaw University Muntu chapter, wishing my sisters of Raleigh grad happy Juneteenth 2020.